Hello, you're listening to Mystic Orange Talking in the Shadow, episode 11. Today, I will be talking about Winx Club for today, about season 1. I think throughout this week, I'll be talking about Winx Club season 1. Uh, just for now, I might not, who knows. But right now, I'll be talking about Winx Club season 1. Um, Today, I want to talk about season 1, episode 1. Um, um, I just want to share my thoughts on it because I've seen kind of war do it. I've seen Winx Club of New Winx Club um, Forever podcast. I've seen her do it, so check them out. I just want to have a go myself. In this video, at least for now, I'll be talking about episode 1, the pilot episode. So, what's my opinion on it? Uh, First of all, I'm gonna say that I've seen all three versions: Nick, Farkas, and Ray, Cinelim dub, and I like all three. But I had to say, my favorite of the dub is the Farkas dub. I am biased, and I am used to the exaggeration of Farkas. I just love it. Farkas is so engaging and funny. Yes, the Ray version is authentic. I praise Ray for being authentic, but if I had to choose, it would be Farkas for me because it is great with personality and music and all that, and comedy too. So, and I think Nick is would be third for me. I think it does get over criticized, but it has done good stuff. But I will mainly talk about a 4 Kids version because that's what I've been grown up with. Oh, I might talk about Ray too. So that's what you need to think forward. So 1 is 4 Kids, 2 is Ray, 3 is Nick. If I'm going in the order of which one I like, I think they all hold up. They all have their weaknesses and they all have their strengths. So no dub is more perfect. Well, no dub is perfect, at least in my opinion. So now that's covered, we'll talk about um, the theme song. I think while I do like the Cinelim, I like all three of the theme song for season 1. I think each dub does a good job. I think they're all catchy. Cinelim does is longer and is a bit more authentic. Is Nick one is catchy, but I think Farkas one is just has that special spot in my heart because it's that catchy. I think it does a good job listing the girls' powers, like um, Techna and Flora. And then it's a good way of naming all the powers. And it's to mention that Stella is the fairy of the sun and moon, and I'm glad that they add that in the song. So yeah, um, so that's for the theme song. Now I will be talking about season 1, episode 1. Who knows? Maybe I'll get to talk about episode 2 if I able to breathe. this is just my thoughts on episode one. I won't do it in. It won't be as depth as this. This review won't be as depth as it would be like Wings Club podcast, Forever podcast, or um, Unicorn of War. So if you don't prefer videos, I hope you give this a chance. But I would recommend those channels for a more depth review. I can't guarantee this review will be deep. Um, so yeah. Um, I, I, um, so I think the I will go by character rather than the scene. I think Bloom. I think Bloom for this episode is really good. I like how she is introduced. She is introduced really well in this episode. It's pretty straightforward, a bog standard of how you introduce a character, especially a main character. Um, and I think they introduced Bloom really well. Her personality really shines through. She, I guess it can be a typical generic protagonist, but I think I think the Fock's dub does that a little bit better, making her a little bit awkward, and I like that they add. I think she's awkward in the Ray version too, but I think she's a bit more. I think in the Ray version she's a bit more um, like a bit too sweet. I think in the Fock's version she's a bit more awkward, and she's she's socially awkward, but she's hilarious. I like Fock's Bloom really well, really much. So anyway, I think overall Bloom has been introduced really well. I like how her power has been shown, like when she defended Stella, and I like how her story has begun. Like she didn't know how her uh, power starts, and now she's all. Uh, she defended Stella with her dragon power, which is incredible. You have to like you can't deny that. That's just epic. Like how she took down the ghouls and the ogre. So yeah, I think Bloom's journey overall in this episode and season, I think it is well done. Now for Stella, um, I think Stella is really good in this episode. Really, I really like how she was introduced as well. She's fighting ogre, not and the troll and the ghouls in the park. Well, not the troll, but she does fight them. She does fight the troll later on, but you know, um, I really love Stella, and she's basically the whoever is deuterogonist of the group, really, because she does bring Bloom to Althea. So I really like Stella, and she is really funny. Uh, how she took down not tandem ghouls, and I think I love how she explains to Mike and Vanessa how she's a fairy and stuff, and she really convinces Bloom to come to Althea, and I really like that. I think it's really funny. Um, I like that. I like they introduced the bottomless postcard, but at the same time, I think it is a really bit redundant because we never see the postcard ever again. So like, I think if this if this episode was done again, I would have omitted the postcard scene. Um, I think Kiko is really funny. I really love Kiko the rabbit. He's really good. Um, Mike and Vanessa, um, they're really good supportive parents, and no parents are better than Mike and Vanessa that I have seen, like in most channels. Um, they really supported Bloom, even though they knew it was dangerous for her. They still let her take this adventure, because it is her journey to discover who she really is. Um, I think we will get to introduced to Mitzi. I think Mitzi, um, you either like her or hate her, but it's kind of you kind of have to hate her because of course she's the typical bully, but she's really iconic and really funny. You know, uh, I can't help but love Mitzi. She's so iconic. Yes, she's a bit of a typical bully, but she is iconic, and you know we won't forget Mitzi. The one thing I would say, after the monsters came back, I really did not think the specialists were needed. I mean, I get they were trying to save them, but I think Stella could have finished the troll with all her power, and Bloom really could have shown her potential. You know how she did in the park. She could have just destroyed the troll. I feel like the specialists did not need to be introduced in this episode. I feel like overall, I feel like the specialists we don't need them as much. I feel like they get a proper introduction in episode 4. I feel like episode 1 isn't the best introduction for them. So yeah, I don't like that they're in this episode. And I feel like we don't need the troll either. I feel like the story about this troll is really uninteresting. Well, so it would have been okay for one episode for the troll situation. So yeah, um, and yeah, I like the overall episode. For the tricks, I don't get the whole ghoulish like figures with the yellow eyes. Um, uh, I mean, I get it, but it was weird because we never see them like that ever again, and that ghoulish like figure of the tricks that never gets explained. Like, why do they look like that? You know, I think Stella could have. While I like the dress she wore in this episode, I think she could have worn a different. She could have worn her casual wear throughout the whole episode. Yeah. I think I really like this episode. How the story is. Some things I feel like could be omitted, like the specialist and uh, you know um, the bottomless postcard. But I think this episode really did well. I like how it ends in the Focus dub. Like the song, "It Feels Like Magic" is truly special. So yeah, that's my full thoughts on this episode. Uh, I'm sorry it's not as deep depth as Unicorn of War and uh, Winx Love Forever podcast, but I'm glad you could able to listen to it anyway. So yeah, uh, like, share, and subscribe. If you want to hear more, press that bell button. Yeah. Uh, Thank you for listening and goodbye.